This conference will now be recorded.
Welcome to Tuesday's council meeting, April 6th. Can we have a moment of silence and a pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Madam Secretary, can I have roll call, please?
Valerie Moman,
Here.
Hakeem Jones,
Here.
Tony Sanders,
Here.
Heather Lewis, no. Rebecca Smith, no. Thomas LaPera,
Rebecca's here.
Sorry, I'm here. It wouldn't let me in.
okay. Thomas LaPera,
Here.
Derek Perry.
Here. Can we have a motion to approve or amend any minutes?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? All right. Tonight, we did not have an executive session. And Mr. Vice President LaPera, do we have any announcements?
Yes, we do. First, Norristown area CTC for the youth is hosting a free QPR training for adults. This gatekeeper training will include recognizing the warning signs of suicide, how to ask someone about suicidal thoughts, and how to offer and connect help. For more information, you can email twilliams@accessservices.org. Also, Grace Kelly and Finding Shelter Animal Rescue will be holding a free pet vaccine clinic for Monco residents only at Elmwood Park Zoo on April 11th and April 18th from 10 to 4. And you can find more information and pre-register at www.findingshelter.org. That's all.
Council, any other announcements? Councilman Jones.
Yeah, good evening. I had two announcements. The first announcement is regarding a visual in support of the Asian American community to take place this Sunday, the 11th, at the Montgomery County Courthouse, starting at 2 p.m. History, Unity, and Action, organized by several Asian American business and community leaders throughout the county. So that's this Sunday at 2 p.m. at the Montgomery County Courthouse. All are welcome. All are welcome to that. And the next announcement I wanted to share is the Public Defender's Office in Montgomery County will host a expedited marijuana pardon program at the county parking lot Saturday, April 24th. Further details to come. And this will target expungements for those who have marijuana-related offenses that are nonviolent or non-criminal. That's it.
Council, any other announcements?
Yes, I have one. Next Tuesday, April 13th, there will be a virtual town hall pertaining to the community garden in the First District, held by David Genova of the Montgomery County Health Services. And I will be there to kick off the meeting and actually to assist Mr. Genova. And again, it is a virtual meeting. I will share the flyer with everyone, and I will ask if Kevin could also share it on social media. And again, it is pertaining to the community garden in the First District on Thomas Barone Street.
Any other announcements? Okay, seeing none. Madam Secretary, can we have public comment, please?
Yes, there's one. Denise Hall from 1317 Arch Street. Good afternoon. I hope you and your families are doing well in this season. I would like to publicly recognize the Zoning Hearing Board for their expertise, time, service, and commitment to do right by the residents of Norristown and our desirable community. Specifically, on Tuesday, March 23rd, 2021, I attended the meeting in its entirety and witnessed the board interview in great detail a number of zoning applicants asking good questions. They verified their understanding of the responses and obtained the municipality's input along with the legal counsel to come to their conclusions. The meeting went from 7 p.m. till close to 1 a.m. Wednesday morning. Throughout the meeting, the board treated every applicant with respect as they performed their due diligence. At around 11:30 p.m., they recognized how late it was and how many more applications were remaining when they agreed to continue instead of delaying the review of the last two applicants who had been patiently waiting their turn. Based on my observation and participation, you have selected the right individuals for this role. They are ensuring our future will be better than our past, for which they deserve our recognition and support for their service to Norristown, our community, our hope. Sincerely, Denise Hall. That's it.
All right, thank you. I always give the citizens time to have any public comments. So if you would like to speak, because you have a public comment, I will give you the opportunity currently right now. All you have to do is just unmute your screen and I'll call on you.
I would like to make a public comment.
Go ahead, Ms. Fecko.
Thank you. Rachel Fecko, I live at 715 Noble Street, which is in the 1st District. And I just wanted to follow up with an email that I sent to all of council about the protocol for things that happen after you've voted on something. I received several replies from Councilwoman Sanders, but none of them answered my specific question, which was, are you allowed to change the stipulations of a vote after it has occurred? You all voted to approve the Thomas Barone location for community garden pending the addition of, I forget what number of signatures. And then I learned that after that, more requirements were added to that to have a survey done. And I just, I don't think that it's appropriate. It may be not legal. I don't know, to change the stipulations of a vote after the fact, especially without informing the public. So I just wanted to state that I think that was inappropriate, and I don't know if there are other things going on behind the scenes. I received an email, like I said, from Councilwoman Sanders saying the county pulled out and they're looking at something else, but then she's announcing a town hall to discuss it. So just seems like there's a lot of unclear things going on, and I'm just hoping for some, I would, not at this meeting in particular, but if someone would please respond to my email with an answer to my specific question about whether or not stipulations can be changed after a vote has been made. Thanks.
Councilwoman Sanders, I'll let you address that since it's your district.
Thank you, President. So, Ms. Fecko, I sent you several emails. One, if we could get together to meet to discuss this further. Two, in addition to that, council is not leading this project. This project is initiated by the county, who in turn have decided to take other avenues after not following the proper protocols, which then hence is the reason for the town hall to do the due diligence that was supposed to be done in the first place. There was nothing else that was done behind the scenes. Council had nothing to do with that. Again, this was ran by David Genova of Montgomery County Health Services. That is where your questions are to be directed to. Thank you.
Well, my question still remains about the vote and the protocol, which you still haven't answered. So I'll just hope for that answer.
The vote had nothing to do with that. If the county changed direction and they didn't receive the number of signatures, which they knew that they weren't going to get, That is why they changed their direction. And after this, I have no further comment.
Thank you for your comment. Is there anyone else who would like to have a public comment? Okay, seeing none. Thank you all for your public comment and thank you for all showing up. So the next is our Heroism Commendation of Mr. James Cowboy Johnson. Chief Tal, I see Chief O'Donnell and everyone there. Well, first, let's applaud this man first and foremost. Definitely appreciate him. I can definitely tell you as a young man when I used to walk around the block and see him always doing his landscaping and keeping his whole block clean. We definitely appreciate you for that. But the community definitely is proud, very proud to honor you with this. So it's the Citizens Heroism Commendation. Whereas the above named resident displayed Mr. James Cowboy Johnson displayed a conspicuous act of valor and heroism when under a hazardous condition placed himself in a life-threatening position to save the life of another. Whereas on March 15th, 2021, a fire broke out inside of an apartment building at 1017 Sweet Street in the municipality of Norristown, trapping a resident on the second floor of the burning building. Whereas Mr. James Cowboy Johnson acted swiftly and with courage during this incident, Mr. Johnson, without hesitation, entered a rapidly spreading dwelling fire and removed a trapped and critically injured resident from the second floor to safety. Mr. Johnson, after removing the injured resident, then stayed with the injured resident to provide comfort until EMS arrived to provide treatment and transport. Therefore, Municipal Council of the Municipality of Norristown, the Norristown Fire Department, and the Norristown community would like to recognize and congratulate Mr. James Johnson for his heroic actions of that day. And once again, we applaud you and we appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you want to say anything?
First of all, I'd like to give him the honor of thanking you all from your heart, and thank for the family that I didn't know, and I hope they keep praying for the family, and I hope things get better for them. It will. And I thank each one of your council, and I thank the Norristown firefighters, and I thank paramedics, and also I thank the Norristown Police Department for their courage. And I thank you all for this honor for me to receive this award by saving someone's life. That means a whole lot to me. And I hope that means a whole lot to his family. We're all going through ups and downs. We're all going through trials and tribulations through this academics, what's going on. But a life was not taken at the time. And I thank you all for honoring me tonight. And may God be blessed, each one of you, and thank you.
Thank you for being a blessing to us. Thank you. We appreciate you.
You're quite welcome.
Mr. President?
Yes, go ahead.
We had Representative Matt Bradford. That's a unit citation. He'd like to present to Mr. Johnson as well. Do you want to read that as well, or do you just want me to present that to him?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Mr. Johnson, this is on behalf of State Representative Matt Bradford. This is a House Representative citation for your heroics on that day as well.
Thank you, Mr. Bradford. Thank you.
And then last but certainly not least, today I had a visit by one of the fire victims' family members today. And on behalf of the Horsey family, they'd like to give you a card.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And a check for your heroics in saving their son, brother, uncle, nephew, right? Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you all very, very much. Thank the family, and I thank the family very, very much. One thing I like to say, Marine Corps had 3 words to say: honor, courage, and commitment. I honored myself through God. It took a lot of courage to do what I had to do, and I committed myself. I thank Almighty God for protecting me, and the rest of them was in the home. But I feel bad because I had 2 other young men that helped me, and I don't know who they were, and they were young, but I hope they be watching this where they are, and I want to find out who they are. They took a lot of courage to do what they had to do, but I couldn't leave a person sit there and burn. I couldn't do that. It wasn't my heart. But when it was time to move, it was time to move. I reacted real fast, and I thought real fast. But when you go into a situation like this, you got 2 things to think about: survival and, first of all, saving. And both of them was kept in my heart. And I thank Almighty God, the Creator that created me on this earth, and I thank Him. Also, I thank each one of you all tonight for honoring me. I'll never forget it. I take this to my grave. Thank you.
Chief, we appreciate it. But you're up next.
Okay. We'll come out for some pictures.
We can let the guys see what's going on.
So Municipal Council, before you this evening is Municipal Council Resolution 2131. It's for the purchase of fire hose and adapters for the fire department. This is a capital improvement project, and what it will do, it will replace aging supply fire hose for the fire department, something that probably hasn't been done in about 20 years. So this is something that will certainly standardize and put new equipment in great use.
Council, any questions or comments? All right, seeing none, can we have a motion to pass resolution 21-31, which is to purchase of fire hose and adapters?
So moved. So moved. Or second.
Madam Secretary, can we have roll call, please?
Valerie Momin,
Aye.
Hakeem Jones,
Aye.
Sonia Sanders. Oh, she'd walked away, I think. Heather
No, I think-
Lewis,
There she froze.
Aye.
Rebecca Smith,
Aye.
Thomas LaPera,
Aye.
Eric Perry.
The ayes have it. Resolution 21
Just here with the eye.
Okay,
yes.
thank you. Got it.
Thank you, Municipal Council. Before you is second resolution number 2132. This is the purchase of a backup public safety radio system for police and fire. Currently, we don't have a backup radio system in the department, either in police or fire. So if our emergency communication system goes down, we do lose the ability to communicate. And that with the purchase of this, again, through a capital improvement process, we will then have emergency communications in a backup sense should our public safety radio system go down on us.
Council, any questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, can we have a motion to pass resolution 21-32, which is to purchase a backup public safety emergency communication system for police and fire?
So moved. Second.
Madam Secretary, can we have roll call, please?
Valerie Moman,
Aye.
Hakeem Jones,
Aye.
Tony Sanders,
Aye.
Heather Lewis,
Aye.
Rebecca Smith,
Aye.
Thomas LaPera,
Aye.
Larry Curry.
Aye, the ayes have it. Resolution 21-32 passes. Thank you, Chief. Appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
All right. Mr. Singh, can you lead us?
Mr.
Mr.
President,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
President,
Yes, Mr.
if I
Jones.
might just interrupt, I know Representative Bradford just jumped in. We had done his thing, but he just jumped in. I thought you might want to let him say something before we.
I see him at the bottom.
In the agenda.
Chief O'Donnell, do you want to bring Mr. Cowboy back? How you doing, State Rep Bradford?
I'm doing well, Mr. President. How you been?
Oh, I can't complain. I'm good.
You guys all look good in your 1-inch boxes. Crazy times.
Yeah.
Well, I apologize for being late. I literally just ran back to my office.
The bottom one.
Rob.
All right. Representative Bradford, Mr. Johnson.
Yes. Hey, Chief. Hey,
How you doing, Mr. Bradford?
I'm doing
Bradford?
well.
Good.
I just want you to know how unbelievably proud of you we are. Obviously, in a time in which we need a lot of heroes, it's good to see an old-fashioned, red-blooded hero in our midst. And so there's a citation there that I know Chief was kind enough to pass along. But just know that what you did is truly the best of humanity and the best of Norristown. And we're just lucky to have you as part of our community. And I just want you to know on behalf of the Commonwealth, thank you. You're a true hero and you're being recognized rightfully as such.
Thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart for this honor, and I appreciate it. And I'm a Norristown now. I'm a Carolina boy, but I'm a Norristown now. And I thank you for what you did and the family. Appreciate it. And always going to keep this in my heart. I cherish it in my heart. Thank you.
That's so kind of you to say.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Have a good night.
Thank you, Council. I apologize for being late, but again, thank you for giving me the opportunity to recognize the gentleman. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too, sir.
Mr. Singh, can you lead us in the Historical Architectural Review Board, please?
Thank you, Mr. President. Municipal Council, before you is the Norristown HARB application for Certificate of Appropriateness for the month of March. As you all are aware, Norristown HARB receives applications on a monthly basis for exterior repairs and renovations for properties that are located in Norristown's historic districts. Those applications are reviewed by the HARB members to confirm that the repair and/or renovation work that's being proposed is in compliance with our municipal ordinance. The HARB has reviewed the applications and have approved either as submitted or modified as mentioned on the individual certificate of appropriateness the following properties: 504-506 Sweet Street, 559 Buttonwood Street, and 1009 West Main Street. Thank you.
Council, any questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, can we have a motion to approve or deny the historical Architectural Review Board applications received, reviewed, and recommended for approval by the HARB for March 2021?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No, I'm
Aye.
sorry, this is a roll call. Madam Secretary.
Valerie Moman,
Aye.
Hakeem Jones,
Aye.
Sonia Sanders? Sonia? There she is. I don't know if she heard me. Sonia
She
Sanders? I see her.
froze. Yeah.
Heather Lewis?
Aye.
Rebecca Smith?
Aye.
Thomas LaPera?
Aye.
Derek Perry?
Aye, the ayes have it. Motion passes. And Councilwoman Sanders said thumbs up. Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Jones, can you take us in resolution 21-33, please?
Thank you, Mr. President. Council Resolution that 21-33 is a request for council to award a bid for Swamill Run Creek culvert replacement. As you know, this project has been going for quite some time. We had sought and received a grant for DCED for this work. Based on the amount of the grant and the bidding of this project, we're ready to proceed. And with council's approval tonight, the solicitor, myself, and the municipal engineer have been having discussions with DCED about a subsequent grant to cover the remainder of the project. We also are advised that best way to proceed is to rebid the alternative and just put out award for the base contract which we're requesting. And because of the nature, the health and safety nature of this of the culvert and making sure that we get the repair started as soon as possible, we're asking the council also consider waiving the SRO requirements for this. I'm sorry, the RCO requirements for this in the 12-day waiting period, so that this work can get started as quickly as possible. We do have the municipal engineer here. If Ted, Dimitri, if there's any questions that you have.
Council, any questions or comments? I only have one. I know this has probably been a long overdue, but how long will this last us once we do this, and when will we keep updating?
Are you meaning how long would the culvert construction last once it's done?
Yes.
I will let the tech folks do that. It's certainly supposed to be a long time. Ted, please.
Councilwoman Smith, I seen you.
Ted, you're muted. Ted, you're muted.
You got unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
I apologize.
Okay. That's when you sit in your couch where you watch TV and sports at, you forget about it.
President Perry, were you asking how long the construction would take?
No, not the construction. Once we do this, I know this culvert has been something on our radar for a very long time, along with a lot of other stuff. How long will it last, and how long will we have to keep updates on it so we don't get into this predicament again?
Well, I don't anticipate it being much longer. Once, if we get this approval to move forward, then it shouldn't take long. They'll start on the construction, and then we'll just keep you posted during the construction process.
How long will this last?
He's asking Ted how sturdy will the culvert be, and how long will this?
Well, typically something like this has a lifespan of, they always build them for at least 50 years. Okay. So we're hoping for more than that, though. But I would say a minimum of 50 years.
Okay. Council, any other questions or comments? Councilman Jones.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment and just say that I'm glad that we were able to obtain a grant, because initially it would have fallen on a long-time business owner, but it looks like the amount is almost double on what it would have cost the business owner. So not only are we getting their section done, but we're also getting the entire culvert done. So I'm glad that DCED had some funds available to handle this project.
Council, any other questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have a motion to pass resolution number 21-33, which is the bid award for Swamill Run Creek culvert replacement, to approve contracts with JPS Construction Company in the amount of $719,000 and waiving the RCO requirements of the 12-day period, the wait period.
So move.
Second.
Madam Secretary, can we have roll call?
Valerie Moman,
Aye.
Hakeem Jones,
Aye.
Sonia Sanders,
Aye.
Heather Lewis,
Aye.
Rebecca Smith,
Aye.
Thomas LaPera,
Aye.
Derek Perry.
Aye, the ayes have it. Resolution 21-33 passes. Mr. Jones.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Mhm.
So the council, this next item is a request of council for the approval of assessment appeal stipulations that were agreed upon between by the Norristown Area School District and various property owners. And we got 3 properties in question right now. As you know, this typically happens, and you may decide sometimes to have the solicitor attend. When the solicitor looks at these and recognizes that the cost of actually participating in the legislation would exceed what the return on this would be for the municipality, we typically opt not to do that, and they make a recommendation as to whether or not to accept stipulation. In this instance, they made 3 recommendations, which we think are very favorable. First, for 1830 Arch Street, where the property owner would be refunded an amount of $4,163.60 for tax years covering 2019, 2020, and 2021. The second being 1000 Regatta Circle, where actually the municipality was underpaid for 2020 and 2021, and the municipality will receive $168,513.75 in underpayment. And the final one is 701 DeKalb Street for tax years 2019 through 2020 and 2021, where the municipality would issue a refund in the amount of $6,184.40 to that property owner. So it is our recommendation of the solicitor that the council approve these stipulations agreed upon by the Norristown School District.
Council, any questions or comments? Okay, seeing none.
I've got one.
Oh, sorry, Councilwoman Smith.
Thank you. Just a general question. There's been a lot of these assessment appeals coming through. I'm wondering if we know if the school district is filing the assessment appeals or if a lot of individual property owners are.
I can explain that, Mr. Jones and Councilor Smith. The reason why you're getting a lot of these recently, when maybe you've only gotten a year in the past, is because Judge Rothstein of the Court of Common Pleas has been going through all the back assessment appeals over the last 5 years and been forcing parties to settle and clean out. So she's been calling meetings with people that file assessments, school boards. We don't really participate, again, other than monitoring it, unless if there's something very odd. This doesn't really make financial sense. So the reason why you're seeing so many is because it's court mandated settlements pushing the process forward. You'll see a lot of the dates on these are from 2 or 3, 4 years ago. So that's what's happening.
Thank you.
Council, any other questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, can we have a motion for council to consider the 3 assessment appeal stipulations that have been agreed by the Norristown Area School District, the county, the taxpayer, and the Board of Assessments for 1830 Arch Street, 1000 Regatta Circle, and 701 DeKalb Street.
So moved. Second.
Second.
Madam Secretary, can we have a roll call, please?
Valerie Moman,
Aye.
Hakeem Jones,
Aye.
Sonia Sanders,
Aye.
Heather Lewis,
Aye.
Rebecca Smith,
Aye.
Thomas LaPera,
Aye.
Derek Perry.
Aye, the ayes have it. Motion passes. All right, we'll go to departmental reports. Miss Erica, I know I've seen you here. No, there you go.
I'm here. My camera's not working, so I'm on my phone.
You just don't want us to see.
That, and no, I'm just kidding. So I have a few updates, which I'm sure everybody is anticipating, especially with the fields as well as the building. The fields started, probably I want to say they came out about 2 weeks ago to start their initial evaluations. Lapshaw is just about 99% done. And they started with the Little League fields this week. Little League looks excellent so far. I haven't seen it look that good in a long time. Even prior to our flood issues, they're doing a very nice job. It is Jim Kenny construction. I'm very impressed. In past years, my 3 years here, we've used Chiron Environmental to do a lot of the infield work. And this year, it didn't work out with them. That's fine. And I'm very pleased with this new contractor. The only thing we're really waiting on, which I'm not sure if anybody's aware where you might be, aluminum right now but we can't get a hold of aluminum. So anywhere. So back ordered is a little bit of the outfield fencing still, and the fencing over at Little League. And coincidentally, we had to wait an extra 2 weeks for field material. So your actual dirt, I want to say, and stone and rock was all basic, just on hold. So we've moved past that part, but now we're kind of stuck a little bit with aluminum. Also with that, we will be doing the tot lot over at Elmwood Park. That fencing will get fixed as well as soon as the materials come in, and bar tash will be cleaned up and fixed as well once again the materials come in. As for the building, we did start. Permits are in. Everybody is ready to go. They've been in this week, and they came in a couple days last week, and they're just finishing up some demo, getting all of the electrical data lines pulled, and he gave me an update today, actually, that was basically they can start laying the sheetrock and getting the drywall up as soon as next week. So it's very reassuring. Plumbing, everything was fixed with our plumbing today. Our last piece with our plumbing work is the hot water heater replacement, but all of the damaged old piping that was all damaged, that is all working properly again. The sub pump is working properly again. So it's small steps, but it's making a big difference. And everybody is moving great pace, great timeline. So we're excited about that. I've been giving any of the other teams and Chestnut Hill a May 1st start date, which is what the contractor, feels confident that we can make that. So that'll be exciting because we'll have Chestnut Hill. We'll be running camps and doing some interleague play starting in May. And we will also be bringing back our men's leagues for renting. So the Twilight League, the Perky League, men's ball will continue on the weekends. As for the recreation center, we are renting our spaces. Parks are picking up. Gym rentals are going up. now that it's getting nicer and people are feeling a little more comfortable. As soon as the basement gets finished, we will then go back to our normal programming. We do have camp. We already have about 16 campers signed up, and I've only been open a week. So for our camp program for Norristown Recreation in my 3 years, this is one of the quickest signups we had. So that's excellent. Everything will be held at the Recreation Center. We will bring back our field trips. We will bring back our trips to the zoo. We're going to have in-house programming. We're going back to the library. So it's very exciting. We'll still have all of our same policies, procedures. The camp will be maxed out at what the Recreation Center's max is right now, which is about 40. But that is right. We're keeping it at that just until some of the restrictions get lifted a little bit on that. But to keep the kids as safe as possible, especially with busing, and give them the most best, let me say, the best camp experience, we'll be keeping it at that. But we have kids are signing up, so it's pretty exciting. My last update is we should be breaking ground with Cherry Street and Guardino Park starting in late May. We will, as everybody is aware, but I'll just, for the record, put out there, the playgrounds will be updated. All of that equipment is ordered. As soon as it has shipped, as soon as it gets to us, we will be scheduled, and they're looking at the end of May. We will be adding our swing set bays to both Skag-Cotman Park and Ackies Park, and we are redoing the pavilion at Ackies. That structure is just not sound anymore, and it's a big risk and a liability, especially because with the playground, with the basketball court being repaved, more families are using and renting that park. So we'll be adding some benches, your swings, and a new pavilion with picnic tables and things. So right now, I think that kind of covers as a whole what I've got going on.
Council, any questions or comments? Ms. Gennardi. Ms. Moman, Councilwoman Moman.
Thank you, Erica, for all the explanations of what's going on. I have a couple questions.
Yes, ma'am.
The first one has to do with the type of material that's going to be used for the new picnic tables. I know in the past it was, I don't know if people are using wood. I think that's what it was before. Can you tell us a little bit about what that's going to look like?
So it is, yes, I can. It's more updated. It's finished with like a plastic finish almost. So they are the benches and the table is that aluminum, and then it is covered in a plastic covering. It has like the holes. It's what you generally see around a park. I don't necessarily have the specifications, but I can absolutely get them out for you. But they are not wood. I can say that. It is a covered plastic that is more safer for, I feel, younger children because it won't split or anything.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great.
Same with the benching.
Okay, great. The other question has to do with the summer music series. Is that going to be going on this summer?
Yes, thank you for reminding me. I had one more. Yes, we will bring back the Norristown Recreation Summer Concert Series. We were awarded the Arcadia grant back this year, so that was very exciting for us. We will be running concerts starting June. I think it's June 20th is our first concert, and it'll run through August. It's 10 weeks, so August, I think it's around the 20th, 29th maybe. So looking forward to that. I have a couple new bands from last year that we didn't get in. I have a couple of our favorites coming back. I should have that as soon as I finalize the last two bands. I'm going to put out the roster, if that makes sense. So right now it's just kind of a TBD. Yes, we're having summer concerts on the website. I have updated both the camp pages and I put back up the summer concert pages. Flyers will go out. I'm looking to make those magnets again. I thought they were a great success. Also working with Kevin to bring back the billboards. We had started our billboard, and then unfortunately, COVID had hit, but we had gotten billboards that we did 4 main performances. So we'll bring that back as well. I also have a meeting scheduled with Victoria, who was our event person. We're going to be starting our July 4th planning. The fireworks and the bands are set. We're going to go over the rest of the day, though. So yes, I apologize, I forgot, but yes, our concerts are coming back, so we're excited.
And one other
Same
thing
place, time.
Okay, great. One other thing to go along with the concerts, I believe last year we had food trucks doing some of those concerts. Do we plan to do that again this year?
I haven't looked farther into the food sales just because of COVID. That's something I would like to sit and, go over and hash out with Mr. Crandall over that. How does that work? I'm definitely going to be offering water and things, beverages. That's something, is easily offered. But as for food, I'm not sure where we are with that. And I'm going to look for a little guidance with that. But stay tuned. We'll get that to you.
Okay, and I'm sorry, one more.
That's all right. What's up? Yes.
With the bocce court and the volleyball court, how were they affected with the flood? And I know the bocce court is, questionable about who owns it. I don't really know the whole story behind that. But was there any damage there? And is that under our insurance if there was damage? Same thing with the volleyball.
Sure. From my knowledge, yes, the land that the bocce court is on is the municipalities, but it is run by a separate entity, and they handle all of their own insurances and updates and repairs. From what I can tell, I don't think that bocce had a significant loss, but that is all run by a separate Norristown Bocce League entity, actually. So I can get you that contact information, who is leading that currently. As for volleyball, we didn't have any major damage. We bring in that sand and we bring and put up the net and everything. That usually gets put up around Memorial Day or so. So it's just a matter of setting it back up for the season. And I work with Public Works for that.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. No problem.
Council, any other questions? Councilman Jones.
Yeah, Erica, thank you for the report and all that you've been able to get done, around the flood and COVID. I had 2 questions. The first question, there have been some concerns about not having enough playground equipment to accommodate children with special needs. Is that something that we can work into the budget when it comes to the renovations?
Yes. So every updated playground that we are doing is ADA accessible and has ADA specific equipment with it. So as for the stuff that is outdated that we're working with, I can't speak to that necessarily, but once we get to it, everything is compliant, and we do add, like for the swing bays, you will have an ADA swing. You can get accessibility into each of the playgrounds easy, and all of the equipment is as accommodating as we have accommodating pieces for anybody who does fall under that ADA.
Okay, thank you. And my next question is kind of like old news, but new news. You said Kenny Excavating they're doing Latchall and they're doing the baseball fields.
Yes.
And they're doing an extremely well job. So my concerns are still Oak Street Park in that field. I drive past it every day and it's like a big patch of dirt. Now when
where the soccer
where the soccer open space for the soccer. So we had a good year and a half with COVID where people they weren't at the parks and they weren't on the field, but I've seen no improvements to that surface. Is it something Kenny Excavating can look into to maybe, because if I'm playing sports, I fall on that dirt. You're not going to want to play there.
No, you're absolutely right. And there is a lot of divots and holes just from experience from walking across to get to the basketball courts. So absolutely is something in his realm. What I will do is when it comes to facilities and when it comes to the actual field work outside of the baseball fields and all, I will get with Thomas for that. And we can look at if it's something we can do in-house that Thomas's crew can do, or if this is something we have budgeted that we can bring in Kenny for. So let me work a little bit behind the scenes and I can have a better answer for you for our next meeting.
And I guess one other thing about that, it's been mentioned that trucks and SUVs drive on that field for the different tournaments and leagues. So can we work something out that it doesn't happen? Because like I say,
absolutely.
It just looks horrible. And I know if I play football, soccer, and I'm a kid in Norristown, you're not going to want to play on it. So those are
absolutely. And that's something we can enforce a little more. That is in the park permit agreement. But when it does come for the basketball leagues, when that starts happening in the summer, that is something I can enforce a little better. I absolutely agree.
Councilwoman Sanders.
Yes, thank you, Erica, for the report. I just have one question.
Sure.
Were you able to engage the rec committee with these new developments, or have you held any meetings with them thus far?
I have, and we have. So we did meet and discuss what we were looking to and where we were at. I've just explained with the flood situations, because there's not much to do there. But as a committee, we discussed concerts and the park upgrades and some programming aspects. We meet every other month, it's like the third Monday every other month. And I'll be happy to send that to Crandall, and he can forward it to council for all of our meetings for the year. Absolutely.
Thank you.
All are welcome.
Great.
Council, any other questions or comments? Erica, I only have one. It seems like you got a lot of stuff going on, but a lot of people don't know.
Okay.
Or they just
Sure.
So I just currently looked at the web page, as I always want to put stuff out there when you got stuff that's on. Is Kevin doing the web page, or are you doing the web page?
I generally do all of recreation, and if it's something that is above or I don't have permissions to, Kevin will help out. But that's generally something I have kept up just because. But yeah.
Yeah, if the information that you just gave us, if you could update it on the page so we can start spreading.
Yeah.
We definitely, I'll spread it out. Definitely
Absolutely.
appreciate it. Yep.
Absolutely. That is, I never think I never think of the work that we are doing together to publicize. I never think about that. So absolutely.
Yep. And that's it. Thank you for the report.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Mr. Jones, I think somebody's waiting to get in. I'm not sure if you can. I see waiting for somebody. The next is Ms. Feister. Can you lead us in finance, please?
Good evening, councilors. For the month of March, we've been pretty busy working on the items we needed to get done for the audit. We're well ahead of where we were last year, which is always a good thing. And we only have a few more outstanding items. Now, towards the end of the month, we've been getting busy. A lot of the real estate taxes have been coming in. So again, we're on track with, as compared to last year, we're on track there, as well as EIT and business privilege tax. We're all on track there, so things are looking good. They're the major things, along with the various reporting we have to do for year end with the DCED and Auditor General. So typical year end stuff.
Council, any questions or comments? I just have one. I know you have big shoes to follow, and I know that some of the stuff that Norm was doing was unbelievable. Are you still on track to keep the awards coming and so forth? And I know that he taught you very, very well.
Yes, Alicia has the budget book nearly complete. We hope to get that in by the end of this month. And as soon as the audit's done, we'll go in for the comprehensive annual financial report.
All right, thank you very much for your report. Council, any other questions
I
or
can just
comments?
say, Kathy actually had her hand all over that too. So she's very familiar with that work. We didn't lose a step once Norm moved on. She's been in it all along.
Do you have a number of the real estate taxes that we have received? Because sometimes we get these, some of the people out in the community that basically says that we're not collecting taxes or we're not doing the necessary things from a financial standpoint. Are you aware of what we have collected? I know we usually collect around 90-something%. But you know,
by the end of the year, we usually collect about 93%. This year we collected, or last year we collected 94%, and that's up from 2016. I think it was 92.5%. So we're up to 94%. A lot of we had a chat with the county a couple of weeks ago, and part of that reason are a lot of the large rental property owners. They typically wait to pay until they absolutely have to. And we actually end up collecting over 100% because they end up paying the fines and penalties.
Yeah.
But we're doing a few more different things this year, accelerating, putting out the notices earlier in the year, trying to update addresses, just things like that, trying to drum up business. Kevin was a great help putting it out on Facebook. That I noticed a big difference when he put out reminders on Facebook. The next day we'd get a lot of payments in, so that was helpful.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. All right, last is Ms. Massonier with Planning and Development, please.
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, Council members. Do not have much to report, but I'll give you some of the latest that's going on in the planning and field. Last month, we made sure we went out with a request for proposal for the Small Business Assistance Center. Believe it or not, the 3 years had run out, so we are required to go out on a proposal. We did, and we received a proposal on March 25th. I will report on it at the April workshop. As you're aware, we also worked, this is the staff in the planning department, together with administration staff, who worked closely together to put together the locations for the RTAP and the MTAP mapping. That was some good work that was done with the code department, and that's how we came up with the areas that we presented to you at the last meeting. And at this point, we've worked closely with the engineer. The engineer has put together the boundaries, the bits and bounds, if you will, and now we'll be sending that information to the legal arm, and they will put together the write-up for the boundaries, and the ordinance will be ready for advertising. So this has worked very well on all 4 levels, and it's moving forward. If you recall, Council, we launched the Mortgage, Rent, and Utility CARES Act program on the 24th of February. So far, 247 applications have been received, what we call pre-applications. When the pre-applications are received, then the consultants get in touch with the applicants and ask for additional information. The people who have now provided additional information are in the neighborhood of about 32. So far, the payments have been made, at least as of last week, payments have been made to about 10 applications. So that's going well. We will evaluate the program as we move along, because I don't know if you're aware that the state also opened up its program that is similar to this, but it's less stringent. So we will have to monitor it closely to know if we need to move anything or make any adjustments. But I just wanted to let you know that's where we are with that. We also uploaded our annual performance report, which is required by the CDBG. So that's been uploaded in what we call the IDIS system. So we're good with that. We also met with the Montgomery County Redevelopment Authority, together with the Pennsylvania DCD representatives, to talk about future Keystone Community Grant programs. We also have been working on, actually this is very preliminary, but they'll be coming to you, on a developer who is interested in a Kennedy Kenrick. They're doing their due diligence before they bring the proposed concept to you in the fall, either April or May. We're also working with a developer who's interested in developing 600 East Finance. If you recall, Council, that's the site that the dollar store was supposed to go, and that did not go through. We rezoned it, and now there's a developer who's interested in doing something in terms of residential. And I have encouraged him not only to meet with the residents there to kind of give his concept and to get the feedback from the neighbors prior to coming to council and giving that concept, so at least he's aware of what concerns the neighborhood has. So that's in the works. This is falling a little behind, but I will still report on it because you already approved it at the last council meeting. You do recall you did approve the 200 East Logan Street development for townhouses. You also granted final approval for the 1417 and 1419 New Hope Street. And you also granted final approval for the Finance Street project. Those are proceeding. Right now, they're in the process of putting together what we call escrow agreements and land development agreements. So hopefully we should be seeing some groundbreaking in the next month or so. And that concludes my report.
Council, any questions or comments for Ms. Sonia? Councilwoman Moman.
Thank you, Jane, for that report. I always love to hear your reports. It makes me know Norristown is on the move. But question, and this is a hot topic.
Okay.
What is going on with Bishop Kenrick, Kennedy, whatever that school is now? No bite, no nothing yet?
There is
prime property there.
So there is an interest. The developers asked not to be revealed yet until they come to basically present the concept to council. And you will be hearing on that either, actually it's going to be the May meeting. In fact, I had a discussion with the developer today. They're looking for some zoning changes, but there is serious interest there. And recall, we had also included it in that MTIP tax abatement. That was very encouraging to the developer. So I want to thank council for that. That's exactly what developers look for. And it is timely. And that's the type of interest that it actually generated when you said, hey, this is what we want to do at this site. It increased the interest. So yes, at long last, we have a serious developer who will help us turn this property. And you're absolutely correct. It's a pivotal, critical piece of property. We've been trying to figure out how to get it developed for a long time. You're absolutely right.
All right, so I'm going to hold you to that May meeting.
Yes, please do.
Councilwoman Lewis.
Hi, Jane. I'm just curious. I don't know if we missed it, or can you provide an update on the Bear property on East Main?
Thank you. We have had absolutely no updates other than the developer has informed me that they're about to have a liquor license hearing, which they have invited me to basically speak of council's support for the project. We have not had any other development directly from the school district's letter issue. I don't know if Mr. Jones wants to jump in that because he's had more contact with that.
I definitely have made the inquiry. I had a conversation with the superintendent about where they were with that, because that's literally where it sits. His conversation to me was that they have not made a decision. It is still with their committee that's looking at it, but they have not made a formal decision yet.
And they have not committed to meeting with council, or after several requests, they have not agreed to meet with council to have that conversation.
That's correct.
Councilwoman Lewis, I may add that the developer did provide the additional information that the school district had requested. That was submitted.
Thank you.
Councilman Jones.
Yes, another hot topic, Jane.
Uh-oh.
Not really, but what are things looking like with the PNC project and Chef Taylor potential move-in? What's that timeline look like for that project?
I just got, in fact, a call yesterday, believe it or not, because I was asking for the build-out plans so that I could match it with our grant. And he contacted me yesterday. He said, rather he left a message that he was trying to get hold of me to give me that information. So as soon as I get that information, I'll be able to share that with you.
So Jane, can you explain to the people what happens in that process? Because, you know, there's a misconception of people out here just either explaining stuff wrong or just telling the wrong information, which I'm okay with. We know the information, or some of us do. But can you give an explanation of who that money goes to and when do they receive that money?
Okay, sure. I'll be glad to, Council President. So this economic development funds, what the municipality really does is invest in the brick and mortar. We don't really invest in personnel or administration. We invest in brick and mortar so that it's something we can point to and say, this is what we have completed, and this is what we paid for. So this is how the process goes. We get into an agreement with the property owner with understanding that they're going to do the improvements that they've stated in the agreement. And we make sure that they get prices for that work and that they're able to get what, of course, is reasonable. And when they do that work, we make sure that our officials, that is either the municipal engineer or an architect who will be representing us, will check the work to make sure it's been done correctly. And if it has been done, they will sign the release for payment, where we will, that's the municipality, will pay the contractor directly. No dollar is ever given directly to the property owner. It is given to the contractor who has delivered the work. And that, of course, is signed off by someone who represents our interests. And that's either the engineer or an architect who represents the municipality.
Does it go to a business owner or anything like that?
No, it just goes on his behalf. That's we're making sure we're making this property ready for your use, but we're making sure we're paying for the brick and mortar only.
I don't know if you have this information, but I know Municipal Council voted on the Bears project many moons ago. Do you have the date of when we did that?
Oh dear, offhand, I do not. I want to say it was maybe 4 months ago. I'm not sure.
Say it one more time.
I said I want to say 4 months, but I'm not sure. But I can definitely get that information for you and pass it out.
Yep. So we've been sitting on, I think it's been longer than that, because the first conversation that I probably had was October.
It was 2020. It was not 2021.
All right, correct. Yep.
Right.
So It's been a long time that we've been sitting on this project, just to let people know. And these are conversations that's always needs to be had, where we can move Norristown forward. And sometimes we have our hands tied, and we're trying to do the right thing, and sometimes it's just not working. I'll just put it that way. Council, any other questions or comments?
Yeah, I have one.
Council,
I wasn't
Milman.
sure if I heard what Councilman Jones said. Which project were you referencing?
I was inquiring about PNC and the Zachary barbecue building, that project, and where we are and what's the timeline of that getting done, because PNC has been going on for quite some long time.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. Thanks.
Mr. Jones, the PNC building, I believe it's going through one of the last stages of final inspections for the apartments. I could be, I don't know, Mr. Singh, if you want to jump in there.
You gotta unmute mute yourself, Mr. Singh, if you're gonna jump in.
Are you
And
able to hear me?
it has been a long time.
Yes. So the project is underway. We have had communication with the contractors and the property owner there. Progress is being made, but there have been some issues which we have since resolved. I don't have any exact concrete details regarding when everything might be completed at this point, but they are diligently working now that they have a team put together. But other than that, I don't really have any additional information that I'd be able to share at this time.
I think one of the important things to know is kind of following up on Jane's comments a little bit earlier. There has not been a dime of our money spent on that project. So everything he's doing with his money. He hasn't gotten a dime from the municipality to do that project as of yet.
I got a comment in regards to that. The only comment I have is, one thing that municipal council loves more than anything is economic development. And when we have developers like that come to our community, and we're pushing the right things and trying to move things forward, we get things like this that's held up. And I'm hoping to see a difference. I know we have seen a difference. He's probably the only one that has not completed his project since we voted on it, and that might have been around anywhere from 2016 or 2017. And that's kind of, I don't know about anybody else, that kind of makes me upset, because we visited him a couple times, and he promised us the project to be done by a certain date, and it's still not completed in 2021. And we can blame it on COVID, but pre-COVID, he had more than enough chance to get these projects done. I'm hoping we can have him come in the council and talk to council so he can hear our voices and how we feel about letting a building sit in our community that we want to see him succeed also. That's why we voted for it to come here. Council, any other questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, can we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? I'm
Aye.
sorry.
Aye.
Any nays? All right, everyone, enjoy your night, be safe, and enjoy the new weather that's coming out.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye. Thank you.